Hello friends, welcome back. In the last videos we covered about inter-module dependencies. Have you remember right? Sir, inside application we can create any number of modules. A module can use remaining modules, no problem at all. How to use, if multiple modules are there, how to compile, how to run, I clearly explained in the last video. Even multiple cases also we discussed, right? Exports, is it mandatory or not? Requires, is it mandatory or not? Next and after that, if the source files are available in different locations, how to compile? If compiled files are available in different locations, how to run? Sir, these cases we covered already, right? Sir, now in this video, sir, here I want to talk very important point. Of course, already we discussed somewhere in the last somewhere I touched this point, sir. Have you remembered what is the need of JPMS? In the first introduction part of JPMS I covered. Sir, I hope you people may remember unexpected, no class def found error in the case of sir non-modular programming. If you develop your applications based on jar file based, sir, there is no way to specify dependent jar files information in the normal application approach. Correct or not? Sir, all the jar files we have to take in the class path. At runtime, if JVM required any .class file, then the JVM is going to search from left to right and so on. Sir, at runtime, if the required .class file is not available, then immediately JVM is going to rise no class def found error in the normal traditional programming jar file based programming, right? Okay, clear, right? But in the modular programming, of course, in modular programming, sir, all dependencies information you can specify inside module info.java. Correct or not? Okay, inside module info.java, the dependent modules information you can able to specify, sir. That's why at runtime, before starting our program execution, JVM is going to check all dependent modules are available or not. If any dependent module is missing, then immediately JVM is going to tell, sorry, I can't start your program execution because so and so module is missing. Like that, JVM is going to tell at the beginning only. Remember that, sir. After executing some 1,000 lines of the code, JVM is not telling this point, right? Sir, at the beginning only, JVM is going to check all the dependent modules are available or not. If all dependent modules are available, then only JVM is going to start its execution. Clear for all of you, right? That's why in modular programming, there is no chance of no class def found error. Remember this. But in the traditional programming, there is a possibility. I hope you people aware, even I explained with an example also, right? Sir, now let me go for a small demo program. Even a particular module, sir, is missing at runtime, either JVM is going to tell at the beginning or JVM is going to tell in the middle of execution. We can able to see programmatically, practically, right? Just have a look about this diagram, sir. Observe that this is the demo program what I want to take, sir. Have a look once on the screen. Here, just keep this diagram in your mind. Very important, sir. Sir, inject this diagram in your mind. Sir, total how many modules are available? Can I spell out? Total how many modules are available? 3 modules. So this is the module A, module B, and then module C. Respond, man. How many modules are available? Array, how many modules are available? 3 modules are available. Sir, what is the name of first module? Module A. What is the name of second module? Module B. The name of third module? Module C. Sir, module A, every module should compulsory contain module info.java. I am not required to talk about that. Module A contain pack 1. That pack 1 contain a.java. Module B contain pack 2. Pack 2 contain b.java. Sir, module C contain pack 3. Pack 3 contain test.java. That's all. Sir, keep in your mind this diagram compulsory because we are going to implement this in our coding, right? Sir, total how many modules are available? 3 modules. Module A, module B, module C. Module A contain which package? Pack 1. Pack 1 contain a.java. Module B contain which package? Pack 2. Pack 2 contain b.java. Sir, module C contain pack 3. Pack 3 contain test.java. Is the diagram in your mind, right? Okay. Sir, this test.java contain our main method, right? Okay. Sir, now let me go for components of module A. Take a bit very special care about this one, sir. Sir, very simple. A.java contain package pack 1, public class A, public void M1. Oh, this A class contain only M1 method of module A. That's all. Sir, next module info.java module A exports pack1. Oh, this pack1 is going to be exported so that this pack1 is available to module B and module C. That's all. So this is the A.java. A.java contain only M1 method, exports this pack1. This is the module A job, right? Clear up to this? Sir, similarly, let me go for components of module B, sir. Module B, sir, have you observed, right? Package pack2 import. Sir, this class B, sir, it is a pack2 contain class B, just it is printing method of module B, A is equal to new A dot M1. Regarding A is equal to new A dot M1. Sir, now module B requires module A because inside module B it is using A class. That's why it requires module A and then exports pack2 so that this pack2 is available for the remaining modules, right? Sir, these components of module C. Observe that tester.java, sir. Package pack3, import pack2.b, public class test main method. Sir, test class main method. Test class main method is going to call B class M2 method. B class M2 method is going to call A class M1. Clear, right? Sir, requires module B. That's all, sir. Sir, this is about the 3 modules whatever we have. Clear, right? Sir, total how many modules are there in our demo program? 3 modules. Module A, module B, module C. Module A contain pack1. Pack1 contain A.java. Sir, module B contain pack2. Pack2 contain B.java. Sir, module C contain pack3. Pack3 contain tester.java. Clear, right? Sir, observe that. Observe a bit carefully, sir. Sir, this is our diagram, whatever I showed on the screen. Sir, now have you observed, right? Components of module A. A.java, module info.java. Sir, similarly B.java, module info.java. Sir, here components of module C. Sir, tester.java, module info.java. Here the point is, sir, I have to compile all these modules. You know how to compile multiple modules. Not required to keep much explanation. In the last example only demo program I covered. Can you please guide, sir? Can you please guide how to compile? Sir, Java C. Sir, -, module source path. Module source path. Are you getting Java C? Module source path. src -d out. Are you getting? So, if you required any module, can you please print from src folder? Next, -d out. After compilation, generated class files, can you please keep inside out folder? Next, here, out folder. Next, I have to compile. Which modules you have to compile, sir? -m. Now, module A, module B, module C. Are you getting that? Module A, module B, module C. That's all. All the 3 modules by default is going to be compiled. Excellent, sir. Remember, sir, now all the modules got compiled. Now generated compiled classes present inside where, sir? Out folder, right? Okay. Sir, make sure inside out folder it will be there. Perfectly, it is the valid, right? Sir, now I have to run this test class. Remember that. Sir, now Java, can you please guide, sir? Java, sir, module path, module path out, module path out. All compiled files are available inside out. Next, -m. I have to run test, but this test class is available inside pack3. Pack3 is available inside module C. That's why here module C / pack3 dot test. Module C, pack3 dot test. Like this, right? You people should have inside module 3. Sir, in module C, pack3 dot test, I have to execute. Now, observe the flow. Remember that, sir. If you can able to understand this flow, then I will start no class def found error possibility, right? Observe that. I'm trying to execute which one, sir? Module C. Module C, pack3 dot test. Immediately, the control will goes to the main method. Sir, main method, system.out.println, okay, test class main method is going to execute. Which is going to call B class main method. Sir, have you observed, right? B class M2 method, sir, method of. Internally, it is going to call A class M1 method. That's all. This is A class M1 method is going to execute. Remember that, sir. So, if I can run all the 3 lines, sir, from every method is going to come, no problem at all. Remember, But make sure, sir, observe the flow, observe the flow. Whenever I will ask, hey JVM, can you please execute module C pack3 test.java? Immediately, JVM is going to check, sir, module C available or not? Yes, is it available or not? Yes. Now, inside module C, sir, which module is required? Which module is required? Module B is required. Immediately, JVM will check module B is available or not. Yes, man, module B is available. Inside module B, which module is required? Module A is required. Are you getting that? Module A is required. Immediately JVM will check module A is available or not. Sir, observe a bit carefully. Module C required module A, module B. Module C required module B, module B required module A. At the beginning only, before starting our program execution, JVM is going to check all modules. Remember that, sir. If any module is missing, at the beginning only, JVM is going to tell Durga, I can't execute because so and so module is missing. First provide, then I will start my execution. Like JVM is going to tell very decently, man. Sir, JVM never going to tell after executing some 100 lines or 1000 lines of the code, then it is telling that so and so is missing. That's why I can't continue. Like JVM is going to tell very decently at the beginning only. Durga, module C requires module B available. Module B requires module A, which is not available. How I can start my program execution? Like that. Are you getting right? So, in modular programming, JVM is always going to check all required module at the beginning only. Remember, if any module is missing, what the JVM is going to do is, Durga, sorry, I can't start my execution because so and so module is missing. Clear for all of you, right? That's why in modular programming, you never going to get no class def found error. Make sure you people should be aware. Are you in a position to understand, right? Sir, let me show programmatically, right? Sir, but anyway, how the JVM can get all this information? Yes, man. Sir, module C required module B required module A. How the JVM can get complete information? Very simple, sir. JVM will collect this information from where? From where it's going to collect the information? From module info.java file. Clear for all of you, right? JVM is always going to consider this information from where, sir? Module info.java file. JVM is always going to consider this information. Okay, sir, let me execute this code. I'm sure all the three modules I want to make it available. What is the output? If one module is missing at runtime, what is the output by default we are going to get, sir? Observe that. Listen, have a look once, right? Sir, already I hope I took already SRC folder. SRC folder contain three module A, module B, module C. Module A contain, sir, module A contain module info.java. Yes, exports pack1 contain a.java. Yes, observe that module A method executing. Like this I'm taking, sir. Similarly, sir, module module info.java requires module A. Module B requires module A, exports pack2. Next, pack2 contain b.java. Pack2 contain b.java. Internally, it is going to call M2 method is there. B class contain M2. M2 is going to call M1 method, right? Next, sir, module C. Our main method is available here. Sir, requires module B. Module C requires module B. Pack2 test.java. Observe that system.out.println main method of module C executing bb is equal to new b.m2. Regarding same whatever I explained on the board on the screen, the same thing only, right? Now let me compile. Can you please guide how to compile, sir? Java C module source path module source path src d out m. Okay, module A comma module B comma module C. Have you remembered, right? Here we should not keep a space between the modules. Already I covered in the last session, right? Sir, let me compile. Let me compile this. Here just observe that, sir. Okay, let me compile. Yes, happily the code is going to compile. Now all the three modules are available inside out folder, right? Sir, where out folder generated? Yes, this is the out folder generated inside out module A, module B, module C. All the three modules are available, right? Sir, now my question is, I have to run. Can you please guide, sir? Java hyphen please guide, sir. Java hyphen module path out hyphen sir, module C pack 3 data test. Pack 3 data test I have to take. Are you getting right? If I'm taking like this, if I'm going to take like this, what is the output? By default you are going to get. Observe that, sir. I'm trying to execute happily. Main method of test class is executing, which is internally called M2 method of module B, sir, which is internally called M1 method of module A. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, all the three modules are available. All the three modules are available. Happily the output by default you are going to get, sir. Now my question is, take a bit very special case, sir. What I want to do, from the out folder, I want to remove module A. Are you getting? I want to remove module A from the out folder. Module A is I removed, right? Now I'm trying to execute. Hey JVM, can you please execute my program? Like immediately what the JVM is going to do is JVM will check, sir, module C you are executing. Module C is available. Module C requires module B. It is available. But module B requires module A, which is not available. Hey, module A is not available. How I can run? Sorry, I won't start my program execution. Like, sir, JVM immediately it's going to tell, so I can't start its execution, right? So it never going to execute single line of our program also. Before starting our program JVM is always going to check all module dependencies, whether all the required modules are available or not. If any module is missing, at the beginning only, JVM is going to tell, okay, Durga, so and so module is missing. That's why I'm not going to start my execution. Remember that, sir. Are you in a position to understand, right? Let me show practically this one, sir. Observe that. Observe, sir, inside out folder. How many modules are available? Please guide. How many modules are there? We respond. How many modules are there? 3. Module A, module B, module C. Module C required module B. Module B required module A. What I want to do? Module A just I am removing, sir. Oh, module A gone. Module A just I am removing. Module A gone. Sir, C required B available. B required A. A is not available. Now observe. Sir, I am asking very innocent JVM. I am asking, hey JVM, can you please run like this? Sir, now JVM never going to start our program execution. Observe that. Can you please read this line very carefully, sir? Error occurred during initialization of boot layer. Oh, at the time of booting only, the problem is coming. Single line of our program also not executed. Java.lang.module.find exception. Module A not found. Module A not found. Required by module B. Are you seeing anywhere single line of output, sir? Sir, main method started, or M2 method started, or M1 method started. You never going to say. That is the biggest advantage of okay, this modular programming. Sir, required thing JVM is going to tell at the beginning only, array, so and so module is missing. That's why I'm not going to start execution. Please make sure provide that module. But in jar file approach, but in the case of non-modular programming, you are not having any such type of facility, man. I hope you people may be aware. In the non-modular programming, you people are not having any such type of facility. Remember that. Compulsory. Sir, what JVM is going to start? Main method, which is going to call M2 method. M2 method required A class, which is not there at runtime. After executing few lines of the code, JVM is going to tell, oh, A class is not available. How I can run? Are you getting? But in modular programming, that is not the story. Remember, suppose you saw one lady, very cute lady in the bus stop, sir. So in the first snap only is nothing but you fall in love. Assume that, okay? Don't feel real. Just example sake I'm telling, sir. You fall in love. Then immediately you approach it there. Okay? Sir, Can you love me, or shall we go for marry or something like. At that time, she is very silent. Then automatically you are considering that. So it is the acceptance, like almost 2 years or 3 years you enjoyed like anything, sir. Parks and cinemas, like so best parties and so on, right? But after 2 years, that lady came, sir, why don't you friends forever? You are just like my brother, like a key giving the wedding card in the sergeant hand. Then automatically, do you know what is the feeling? Are you getting it? Do you know what is the feeling? So are you going to hurt or not? Don't feel. It may be gent or it may be lady, sir. For both options you can able to think, Hare Durga sir is the gent, that's why he's always telling lady is giving the wedding card. Maybe gent is also giving the wedding card, don't worry. But the problem here is, after 2 years, now this lady or gent is coming, sorry, why don't you friends forever, or why you are like my brother, or you are like my sister and so on. Then automatically, sir, is it a problem or not? How worst it is? Are you getting right? Sir, until 1.8 version, this JVM, until 1.8 version, JVM is also such a type of worst person only. Because the reason is, main method started. Main method is calling M2 method. M2 method also started. M2 method required A class. A class is not available. After executing these many lines of the code, JVM is telling that, sorry man, A class is not available. I can't continue, right? Why don't you tell at the beginning only? At the beginning only, until 1.8 version, there is no way to specify that information. That's why 1.8 version JVM is always going to give the hand in the middle of program execution only. But in Java 9, there is no such a type of problem. All the required module information, JVM is going to check at the beginning only. Are you in a position to understand, right? Okay, that's all. So that's why, sir, here in our scenario, single line of program also not executed. At the beginning only, JVM is checking module C required, available. Module C required module B, available. Module B required module A, not available. Sorry man, I can't start my program execution. So that by seeing that, I can check module B, I will provide module A, so that my JVM is going to start. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, 1.8 version JVM, 1.9 version JVM. 1.8 version JVM is the worst person, use and throw mentality man. 1.9 version JVM, very decent person. Sir, it is going to tell yes or no at the beginning only. Sir, after 2 years, it is not going to tell, it is not going to change the decision. Clear for all of you, right? Are you able to understand? Sir, here, module C I removed. Suppose assume that if I am removing module B, what will happen, sir? Observe that. If I remove module B, clearly JVM is going to tell, Durga, module C requires module B. Module C requires module B. Module B is not available. How I can run? JVM is going to tell very decently, right? Sir, main method is not going to start. Remember that. Observe that. Observe a bit carefully, sir. Here, have a look once. Sir, let me open out. In the out, currently C and B, only two things are there. Let me remove B also. Let me remove B. Sir, only module C is available. Right? Sir, what I want to take here, observe that. Only module C is available. Sir, observe that. So error occurred during initialization of boot layer. Java.lang.module B not found, required by module C. Are you getting? You never going to see single line output also, sir, because the program execution not yet started, because a particular module is missing. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, from this discussion, I hope you people can able to understand. From this discussion, you people can able to understand. Sir, make sure, so in modular programming, there is no chance of no class def found error in the middle of program execution. Sir, at the beginning, whatever I told, now I hope by this time you people got clarity. Clear for all, right? That's all. Make sure you should aware. Sir, in the material, clearly I specified all these things. Can you please go through that? Observe that. Observe a bit carefully. Yes. Okay. Here see this one, JPMS versus no class def found error. In Java 9 platform modular system, JVM will check all dependencies at the beginning only. If any dependent module is missing, then JVM won't start its execution. Hence, there is no chance of no class def found error in the middle of program execution. Clear, right? Okay. So next, this is the demo program, whatever we have. Okay, like here observe that I'm trying to compile. Yes, I'm trying to execute. Happily the output we got. If we delete compile code of module yeah, then JVM will raise error. Are you getting right? Sir, beginning only JVM will raise error at the beginning only, and the JVM won't start its execution. Have you observed, right? Sir, I'm trying to execute. Error. Sir, module A not found, required by module B. Are you getting right? But in non-modular programming, JVM will start execution, and in the middle it will rise no class def found error. In the non-modular programming, there is a possibility is there, sir. Hence, in Java platform module system, there is no chance of getting no class def found error in the middle of program execution. Clear? Are you able to understand, right? Sir, in normal programming, modular programming, sir, no class def found error in the middle of execution possible, but in non-modular, in modular programming, there is no such type of possibility. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, why JPMS concept came? It is also one reason. This problem is one of the problem of jar hell. Clear, right? That's all, sir. You people should aware clearly. Thank you. Now I will explain a bit very important concept, transitive dependencies. Are you getting that? What is the concept name? Transitive dependencies. Sir, sometimes we can use requires with transitive keyword. Are you getting? Sometimes we can use requires with the transitive keyword. Such type of dependency is nothing but one transitive dependency. Observe that. Sir, what is our topic name? Transitive dependencies we have to discuss, right? Sir, now, what is the meaning in our general mathematics whenever we are kid? I hope you people may aware transitive rule. Are you getting what is the meaning of transitive? Transitive means suppose A is equal to B, B is equal to C, automatically can I conclude A is equal to C or not? Are you getting? A is equal to B, B is equal to C, automatically A is equal to C. Are you getting? Sir, this type of rule is nothing but what? Transitive rule. Okay? A gives B, comma B gives C, automatically I can conclude A gives C also. Are you getting? Somewhere at our mathematics, you people may remember this type of rule is nothing but what? Transitive rule. Sir, in modular programming, what is the advantage? For which purpose we require to use this transitive? The biggest advantage, reusability, code reusability, right? Implied readability. Only two words you have to aware. What is the first word? Sir, implied readability. Okay, implied readability. Second word, sir, code reusability. These two words you have to keep with your transitive. Are you able to understand, right? But what is the meaning of implied readability? What is the use of transitive? How to use? All those things I will explain with an example. Don't worry about that, sir. First observe that. What is the meaning? What is the meaning of transitive keyword? Observe that. I will explain, sir, where you can use. Suppose a bit very simple layman example. Let me take, sir. Observe that. I have module student 1 is there, sir. Assume very carefully, sir. Module student 1. Oh, student 1 is one module, sir. Now, this student 1 requires material, sir. This student 1 requires material, right? Sometimes we may get request, sir, I want your material. One student is going to come, sir, I want your material. I will use this material only for myself. If any other person is going to ask, I won't share, sir. Don't worry. Sir, I won't share. Just I require this material only for my personal purpose. If any other person is asking, I won't share. Are you getting that? Sometimes you may have these type of things. But sometimes, sir, I want a material. If any other person is asking, definitely I will share, sir. This material not only for me, my brother will use, my brother friend will use, sir, that friend will use, like, sir, I want such type of material. Observe the difference, right? Sir, I am the student, I require the material only for my personal purpose. If any other person is asking, sorry, I won't give. This is the case 1. Remember. Sir, second case is, sir, I want material not only for myself, even if any other person is asking, I will share, sir. I will share. So, this is observe the case 2. Are you getting? In coding level, what it means, let me explain, sir. Sir, student 1 requires material. Now, material is available for student 1. Remember that. Sir, now, here, module, student 2 is there. Are you getting that? Module student 2 is there. Sir, requires student 1. Assume that, sir. Requires student 1. Okay, line. Sir, for student 2, student 1 module is available. But for student 1, material module is available. Remember that. Sir, now my question is, for student 2, sir, student 1 module is available, but material module is not available. Remember that. Sir, this material required only for student 1, not for student 2. Clear for all of you, right? So, for student 2, only student 1 functionality is available, but material module functionality is not available, right? Observe, don't get confused, right? Okay? Sir, observe. Sir, this is first case 1, whatever we covered. Suppose assume that, have a look once, sir, very carefully. Sir, module student 1. Sir, requires, are you getting? Requires transitive. Remember that. Sir, requires transitive module, transitive material. Assume that. Instead of module words, I am using normal general words. Requires transitive material. Now, observe that. Sir, what is the meaning of, what is the difference between this line and this line? Sir, simple difference is a transitive only. Sir, because of transitive keyword, what is the difference? Observe that. In this case, material is available only for student 1. Are you getting that? In this case, material is available only for student 1. But in this case, sir, material is available not only for student 1. If any other person requires a student, for that person also material is available. Now, in this scenario, sir, student 1 is telling, sir, I want material not only for my sake. Sir, if any other person is going to ask me, I will share this material. If you have such a type of implied readability, then we can go for, transitive keyword. Are you able to understand, right? Sir, it is not a transient keyword. Transient is the different, transitive is the different. Now, here observe, module, student 2, sir. Module, student 2 I am taking. Now, requires student 1. Observe a bit carefully, sir. Sir, now take a bit special care. For student 2, only student 1 is available. For student 2, only student 1 is available, but material is not available for this. In this case, for student 2, student 1 module is available. From the student 1, material is also automatically available. Sir, if you want to provide this material to the next level person also, then happily we can go forward. Transitive. Sir, I'm one module. I want a module A functionality, not only for myself. If any other person is going to ask me, I will share this functionality automatically to that person. Then such a type of dependency is nothing but what? Transitive dependency. Are you able to understand, right? So we can use a transitive keyword. With the transitive keyword we can use with the requires dependency. Sir, that is nothing but what? Transitive dependency. Coding level, I will explain, don't worry. Sir, are you getting basic idea? Are you getting? Sir, I want module A functionality. Not only for myself. Sir, if any other person is going to ask me, I will share this functionality. Automatically this functionality available to the next level person. Implied readability. Such type of thing is by default considered transitive dependency. Are you getting? Sir, where is the code reusability? That part I am going to take care. Don't worry about that. First, get some basic idea. What is the meaning of transitive dependency? Clear for all of you, right? Sir, just observe that. Have a look once, sir. In the material, just observe. Sir, transitive dependency requires with transitive keyword. A gives B, B gives C, automatically A gives C. This property in mathematics is called what? Transitive property, right? Student 1 requires material only for himself. If any other person asking, he won't share. Are you getting? A student 1 requires material only for himself. If any other person asking, he won't share. Sir, module student 1 requires material. Student 1 requires material not only for himself. Here, in this case, have you observed, right? Student 1 requires material only for himself. If any other person asking, he won't share. So that's why transitive is not required. Student 1 requires material not only for himself. If any other person is asking him, he will share it. He will share it. That thing is nothing but one requires a transitive. Clear, right? Requires a transitive. So sometimes module requires the components of some other module, not only for itself, for the module who requires that module also. For this requirement, we can use a transitive keyword. Sir, here this word is very, very important, sir. The transitive keyword says that whatever I have, I will be given to a module that asks me. What a beautiful word. Whatever I have, I will be given to a module that asks me. Are you in a position to understand, right? So this is what you people should be aware about the transitive. Sir, are you getting basic idea? Yes? Are you getting basic idea? Sir, I want material or I want this module functionality not only for myself. If any other person requires me, automatically I will share this material. Automatically I will share this functionality. Transitive. Sir, I want this module functionality only for myself. Only for myself. I won't share to the next level. Then don't use a transitive. Transitive means implied readability. Automatically, whatever modules you have, you are going to give this module automatically to the next level. Whoever going to ask you, you are going to share. Such type of terminology is nothing but what? Transitive. Clear, right? So just a thoda basic idea I hope you got. But let me go for 1 or 2 examples so that you will get much clarity. And once we are going for demo program, then obviously you will get much clarity, right? Up to this is the clear, right? Sir, let me go for another example. Observe that. Have a look once. Here, instead of using general words, student and material, sir, let me go for our module terminology only. Here, see this one, sir. I have, observe that, I have module, okay, module A. Observe that a bit carefully, sir. Module A, or otherwise, module C. Assume that. Module C requires module B, sir. Module C requires module B. Now observe that. Module C requires module B. Now module B requires module A. Are you getting? Requires module A. Okay. Now module A is available. That's all. Observe a bit carefully, sir. So for module B, module A functionality is required. Module C, module B is required. Observe. Let me take a small diagrammatic form. C, next and after that B, next and after that A, sir. C, B, A. Okay. Sir, C requires B. C requires B. B requires A. Now my question is, B is available to the C. B is available to the C. A is available to the B. Now, can you please tell, module A, is it available to the module C or not? Array, I'm not using transitive. I'm not using any transitive, sir. Module A, is it available to the module C or not? Sorry, not available. This only B is available to the C, but not A, because we are not using what? Transitive. Sir, module B is telling, array, I want module A functionality only for myself. Only for myself. I'm not going to share to any other person. That's why it is not using transitive keyword. Are you able to understand, right? Sir, same example, same scenario. Let me take with module, with transitive. Observe that. Module C. Regarding module C requires module B, sir. Module C requires module B. Next, module module B, observe very carefully, sir, this is the very, very important, requires, can you please tell what is the difference? Requires transitive module A. Requires a transitive module A. Sir, observe the difference. This is the difference between this one and this one, transitive. Module B is telling, Array, I want module A, not only for myself. If any other person is going to ask me, for that person also, automatically this module is available. Such a type of implied readability is nothing but what? Transitive. Remember that, sir, okay? Sir, now, anyway, module A is the dummy here available. Module A, sir. Now observe the diagram. Sir, C is available here. Module C requires module B. Sir, module B require module A. Module B require module A. Sir, this A, which is required by module B, not only for module B, for the next level also. That's why A is available to module C also. Sir, in this case, for module C, A functionality available or not? Yes, happily A class methods, A module classes, A module method, happily this C person can able to use. Clear for all of you, right? So make sure, sir, without using requires module A, automatically, because of this transitive keyword, module A functionality by default available. Such type of terminology is nothing but, what is this concept, sir? Transitive. Clear for all of you, right? What is the meaning of transitive? Okay, sir, I want module B requires module A, not only for itself, even if any other person is going to ask, automatically I will provide. Such type of things are nothing but what, sir? Transitive dependency, right? Clear for all of you, right? Are you in a position to understand? Just observe that, sir. Observe a bit carefully. Here, sir, observe that. Module A exports back one, namesake I took, sir. Module B requires module A. Module C requires module B. Observe that. Module C requires module B, requires. Sir, module B requires module A. I didn't use a transitive. That's why in this case only module B is available to module C and module A is not available. Hence module C cannot use members of module A directly. Remember this one, sir, because only module B is available to the module C. Module A is not available to the module C. That's why hence module C cannot use members of module A directly. Clear for all of you, right? Okay. Next case 2, sir. Same thing only. Module A, module B. Module B requires a transitive module A. Module C requires module B. Clear. Have you observed, right? Sir, module C requires module B requires a transitive module A. What is the meaning of that is, this module A is available to the module B. Module A is available even for the next level also. That's why for module C, module B is available, module A is available, right? Have you observed, right? This is the transitive dependency. This is a dotted line. Have you observed, right? Dotted line itself is nothing but transitive dependency, right? Now, in this, both the module B and module A are available to module C. Now, module C can use members of both modules directly. I hope everyone can able to understand, right? Sir, module C can use both members of both modules directly. Clear, right? Okay, that's all, sir. This is what you people should aware clearly. Sir, are you getting some basic idea about transitive? Array, I want module A functionality not only for myself. If any other person is going to ask me, I will share. If you have such a type of requirement, happily we can go for what? Transitive dependency. Let me go for a small use case so that you people can able to understand clearly, right? Sir, now let me explain a small another case study so that you may get some clarity related to transitive keyword, right? Sir, very simple. Here observe that module A is available, module B is available, and C1, C2, C3 and so on, C10 modules are available. Okay, remember that. Sir, here have you observed B requires A, C1, C2, C3 and so on, C10 requires B and A. Assume that. So now, if you observe, if I am writing module B requires A. Module B requires A. If I am writing like this, assume that, sir. Then A module is available only for module B, not to the next level, because it is not implied readability, it is not with the transient. Then automatically module A is available only for module B, it is not available to the next level. There, if C1 required, then compulsory, sir, module C1 requires B and requires A. Are you getting? C2 requires B, requires A. C3 requires B, requires A. Sir, C10 requires B and requires C. Everyone can able to understand, right? So, sir, how many times I have to write requires A, requires A, requires A, requires A, requires A, requires A, requires A? How many times I have to write, sir? Sir, in every module I require to write. Are you in a position to understand, right? Sir, anyway, this A required for every next module. A is required for every next module. Why don't you provide automatically what this B is going to do? Yes, instead of this line, observe that instead of this line, can you please guide, sir? Requires transitive A. If I can take requires a transitive A, B is telling that, hey, I want a module functionality, not only for myself, I will share this automatically to the next level. If I can use a transitive here, make sure automatically this A is available to the all these next level person. These people not required to use requires A like. Are you getting? If they are using requires B, automatically A is also by default available because of this transitive keyword. Are you getting, right? Sir, are you seeing? If transitive is not there, how many times I have to use requires A? 10 times. If I am using transitive keyword, then we are not required to use 10 times. So, the biggest advantage of transitive keyword is code reusability. Are you getting, right? Automatically, this module will be available to the next level. Implied readability. What is that, sir? Can you spell out? Implied readability. Readability will be continued to the next level. Are you getting? Readability will be continued to the next level. You people should be aware, sir. Just observe, have a look once, right? Here, a small case study. Assume modules C1, C2, C3 requires module B and the module B requires module A. Assume that, sir. C1, C2, C10 requires module B and the module B requires module A. C1, C2, C3 and so on, C10 requires B requires A. Sir, if we write requires a transitive A inside module B, requires a transitive A inside module B, then module A by default available to all modules automatically. Module A by default available to all modules automatically. Inside every module of C, we are not required to use requires A explicitly. Hence, transitive keyword promotes code reusability. I covered already, right? The biggest advantage of transitive keyword is nothing but one, code reusability. Sir, transitive means readability. Are you getting? Implied readability. That is, readability will be continued to the next level. Are you able to understand, right? Readability will be continued to the next level. That is the advantage of what is the transitive keyword. If I am using transitive, automatically this dependent module available to the next level. We are not required to use requires explicitly. That is the biggest advantage of transitive. Sir, I covered 3 examples. Student material, module A, module B. Now I am telling this one. So now I hope you people are getting some basic idea. If I implement this concept with respect to the program, then you will get much clarity, I am sure, sir. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Sir, in the last video, we covered about what is the purpose of transitive dependent See what is the meaning of that. Sir, let me go for a small demo program so that you people can feel more comfortable with this transitive, right? Okay, just have a look once, sir. Observe that, sir. A small demo program for transitive keyword or demo program for transitive dependency, right? Sir, here how many modules are available? Can you please cross check? This is the module C, this is the module B, and then module A. Sir, please keep this diagram in your mind because very important. The same thing I want to implement here. Sir, can you spell out, sir? Module C, module B, and module A. Module C required module B, module B required module A. Assume that. Sir, if you use only requires without transitive, then only B is available to the module C, but module A is not available, right? But if I use, sir, requires transitive with the transitive keyword here, automatically module A is available to module C. We covered already in the last example the same theoretical concept. Now I'm ready to implement, sir. Assume that, sir, module C require module B, module B required module A. Okay, like, sir, module C want to use A functionality also. If it is, sir, if module C want to use module A functionality, compulsory this sir, module B should use what requires. Have a look once, sir. This is about module A component, sir. Just M1 method module A. Okay, sir, module A exports back 1. Now module B using module A, sir. Observe that requires transitive module A. Are you getting? Requires a transitive module A. So module B required module A not only for itself. If any other person is going to ask module B, automatically this module A is also available, right? Okay, so now module C components, right? Now observe that it is calling something like, now here take a bit very special care, sir. Observe that, observe a bit carefully, sir. Here the same thing, module C, module B, module A. Sir, module B required by module C requires module B requires module A. Suppose module C want to use A functionality, compulsory here we have to implement what? Transitive. Remember that. Observe that. Observe a bit carefully, sir. Module A components. Remember A.java. Package pack 1, public class A. Sir, this is the A class contain M1 method. Same as our previous example only. Next module info exports pack 1. Here much role is not there, sir. But module B, he is a mediator. Observe that, sir. Module B, sir, using inside M2 method, it is using, sir, A is equal to new A.M1. Are you getting? A.M1. Module B using A class functionality. Next, inside module B, observe that requires transitive module A. Oh, requires a transitive module A. Sir, if any person requires module B, automatically module A is available. Remember that, automatically module A is available. So if any person requires module B, automatically module A is available. So for module C, B is available. Because of transitive dependency, A is also available. That's why, sir, inside module C, you can use A functionality, you can use B functionality. Sir, how A functionality is available? Because of what? Transitive keyword. Are you able to understand, right? Now observe this. Here, I'm using inside module C, I'm using B functionality, I'm using A functionality also. But module C used only requires module B. Have you observed, right? Module C used only requires module B. It is not using requires module A, but still this person trying to use A functionality because module B providing A module A automatically because of what? Transitive keyword. Are you in a position to understand, right? Sir, make sure, sir, here while practicing your program, here with the transitive, without transitive, just use. If you are using transitive, module B is available, module A is available to the module C. So both available to module C, happily it is going to work, sir. By mistake, if I remove transitive transitive, then for module C, only B is available, but A is not available. Immediately you are going to get compile time error, right? I have to show with the transitive, without transitive, so that you people can feel more comfortable, right? Are you in a position to understand, right? Sir, observe that a small example. Here, have a look once, sir. Have a look once. Here, SRC folder. Module A, Module B, Module C. Total how many modules are available, sir? 3 modules. Module A, pack 1. Sir, here, module info.java exports pack 1. Next, pack 1. Pack 1 contains just a.java. Are you getting? Pack 1 contains just simply a.java, right? Okay. Next, module B. Module B, sir, have you observed? Requires a transitive module A. Observe that. Module B requires module A. Not only for module B, it is going to share this module A to the next level person also, like exports pack 2, right? Sir, now pack 2 internal is going to use, sir, A class method. Okay. B class contain M2 method. M2 internally calls A class method. That's all. Next, module C. Module C, module info.java. Module C, module info.java requires module B, pack 3 test.java. Are you getting? Pack 3 test.java. Sir, here, this is the module C. Inside module C, I'm using B module functionality, A module functionality, no problem. But if you observe module info.java, I use only requires module B, sir. I didn't use requires module A, but still module C is allowed to use module A because of transitive keyword used inside module info of B. Are you getting that? Requires, sir, B will provide automatically module A to the module C. Clear, right? Sir, let me compile this code. Observe that. You know how to compile, sir. You know Java C, module source path src -d out, my -m, module A, module B, module C, like this, right? Observe, happily the code compiles fine. Sir, now I have to run. Observe that Java -module path out, sir, pack 3 dot test. Observe, happily it is executing or not. I'm executing module C. Inside module C, I'm able to call B. I'm able to call module A functionality also. Remember that. Sir, now it's a very clear, right? Now here I have observed, because of this transitive, module B is available to module C, module A is available to the module C. So for module C, how many modules are available, sir? 2 modules. Module B and module A both are available to module C. Clear? Are you in a position to understand, right? Suppose inside module B, I didn't use a transitive. Assume that I didn't use a transitive. Inside module info of module B, I didn't use a transitive. If you are not using transitive, can you spell out what will happen, sir? Only B is available, but A is not available to module C. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, now, if I can compile, compiler will give left and right. Have a look once, sir. What I have to do? Just observe that. Sir, let me remove this out folder I removed. Next, inside src, inside module B, module info.java. Inside module, let me remove transitive, sir. Remove transitive. So module B required module A only for itself. Sir, if any person is asking module B won't provide module A. Remember that. Sir, let me compile this code. If I can compile, same thing only. Compiler will give left and right. Have you observed transitive keyword I didn't use? Have you observed, right? Package pack 1 is not visible. Sir, package pack 1 is declared in module A, but module C does not read it. Remember that. Without a transitive, compile time error, because module A is not available to module C. Suppose if I use a transitive, transitive keyword, right? Now observe that, happily the code is going to compile, happily the code is going to run. Observe the difference, right? So transitive means whatever I have, I will share to the next level person also. Code reusability, implied readability. For that purpose, we can use what? Transitive keyword. Transitive keyword we can use for requires a dependency. Requires with a transitive, requires without a transitive. Are you able to understand? This is about transitive dependencies, right? Clear for all of you, right? That's all, sir. Thank you. Hello friends, welcome back. Sir, in the last videos we covered about transitive dependencies. Yeah, we remember right, transitive requires with the transitive keyword. What is the meaning we covered already, right? Okay. Sir, now another type of dependency I have to discuss. That dependency is optional dependencies. Are you getting that? What is that, sir? Can I spell out what is the word? Optional dependencies. Are you getting right? Sir, what is the meaning of optional dependency? The name itself indicates optional. This dependency is optional, not mandatory. What it means, right? Sir, let me cover a small layman example so that you people can understand very easily, right? Sir, suppose if you buy a mobile phone, observe that if you buy a mobile phone, Nokia, Samsung or otherwise iPhone, like you buy a mobile phone, sir. Whenever you are buying a mobile phone, automatically you will get earphones also with that mobile by default. Are getting earphones also by default? You will get, even for 1,000 rupees mobile phone also you will get earphone, charger, all these things, right? Now the point is, earphones, is it mandatory to use the mobile? Can I spell out earphones is the mandatory to use the mobile? No. If you want, sir, you can use earphone. If you are not interested, you can ignore. No problem at all, sir. It's not mandatory. Not mandatory, sir, to use mobile. Earphones is not mandatory. So, if you are interested, you can use. If you don't want, you can ignore, no problem at all. If you are not satisfied with this earphone functionality, sir, happily you can use more branded, more powerful, more enhanced earphones also, no problem at all. Sir, are you getting? For our mobile phone, all these features are available or not? Yes. So, earphone is optional module to our mobile phone module. Remember this one, sir. So for the mobile phone, if you want, you can use earphone module. What is the default, whatever we are providing? If you are not interested, okay, you can ignore. If you have more powerful another mobile phone earphone module, happily you can use, no problem at all. Are you getting the basic idea, right? Sir, earphone, is it mandatory or optional? Is it mandatory or optional to use mobile? To use mobile, earphone is not mandatory, it is optional. Are you able to understand, right? Same thing, sir. Observe a bit very carefully, sir. I have one module A. I have one module A, sir. Module A is there, sir. Okay. Sir, now I have module B is there. Module B is there, sir. Take very special care. Sir, if I can use requires module A, sir. Requires module A. Module B requires module A. Sir, without module A, sir, module B you can't use. Are you getting that? Module B having dependency on module A. Are you getting? Without module A, you can't use module B. That's why at the time of compilation, if you are trying to compile module B, immediately compiler itself is going to identify, sir, module A is available or not. Are you getting? At compile time, if you are trying to compile module B, compulsory compiler is always going to check module A is available or not. Okay, if module A is not available, then the code is not going to compile. Same at runtime, whenever you are executing module B, compulsory JVM is going to check whether module A is available or not. Are you able to understand, right? So, sir, for module B, module A is mandatory module. Remember that. Sir, same way, if I can take like this, observe that requires, I want to provide optional module for this module B. Hey, module B, if you want, you can use module C. If you are not interested, you can ignore, no problem at all. Are you getting right? Sir, if you want, you can use, otherwise you can ignore, no problem at all. If you have such type of optional module, how to define in the module info.java? Requires static keyword. Are you getting that? What is the meaning, sir? What is the word? Which keyword I am using? Static keyword, module, static keyword, module C, sir. Now, observe a bit very carefully between this line and this line, sir. Sir, module A, it is mandatory module. but module C is optional module. Sir, at compile time, compulsory module B and module C must be available, sir. Forget about this one. Sir, at compile time, sir, this module C must be available, but at runtime, module C is optional. Remember this one, sir. So, yet the dependency check will be performed at compile time, but optional at runtime. Such type of module is by default considered as what? Optional modules. Are you able to understand, right? At compile time, compulsory this module should be available, but at runtime, even this module is not available, no problem at all. Happily the code is going to run. Such a type of dependencies are by default considered as what? Optional dependencies. Sir, don't feel it is the new word in Java. It is the old word in the programming world. It is the very common word only. Remember that. Sir, are you able to understand, right? Sir, without static, with a static. Sir, forget about this one. Unnecessary, you people are going to get confusion. Forget about this one, sir. Assume that requires a static module C. Requires a static module C. So static, if a static is not there, then yet compile time to compile module B, module C must be required. At runtime, module C must be required. At compile time, module C must be required. At runtime, module C must be required. That's why dependency check is mandatory at compile time and at runtime. But if I can take static, sir, sir, at compile time, module C must be required, but at runtime, module C is optional. Are you able to understand, sir? At runtime, module C is optional. Such a type of dependency is by default considered as what? Optional dependency. Dependency check is mandatory at a compile time, but optional at a runtime. On the client machine, I'm telling that, oh client, if you are interested, you can use this module C. If you are not interested, you can ignore. Sir, if you have another full-fledged another version, happily you can use, no problem at all. So such a type of dependency is nothing but optional dependency. We can specify optional dependency with which keywords are? Static keyword. I hope you people are in a position to understand clearly, right? What is the meaning of optional dependency? Okay, so just up to this, let me show the material so that you people can feel comfortable, right? Observe that. Observe a bit carefully, sir. What is this one? Optional dependencies requires a directive with which keywords are? Static keyword. Observe that. Sir, if dependent module should be available at compile time, but optional at runtime. Sir, observe the line very carefully, sir. Dependent module should be available at compile time, but optional at runtime. Then such a type of dependency is called optional dependency. Are you getting that? Such a type of dependency is called what? Optional dependency. Sir, we can specify optional dependency by using which keywords are? Static keyword. Are you getting that? We can specify such a type of dependency by using which keywords are? Static keyword, right? I hope you people are in a position to understand, right? Okay. Sir, next, what is the syntax, right? Requires static and then module name, sir. Sir, the static keyword is used to say that, sir, this line is a very, very important line, sir. Make sure, sir. This line itself is a very, very important line. This dependency check is mandatory. Are you getting that? This dependency check is mandatory at compile time and optional at the runtime. This dependency check is mandatory at compile time and optional at runtime. Clear for all of you, right? Okay. Sir, now just let me go for a small example. Module B requires module A. Are you getting? Module B requires module A. Module A should be available at the time of compilation and at runtime. At compile time, module A should be available. At runtime also, module A should be available. It is not optional dependency. Are you getting that? It's not optional dependency, sir. It is a mandatory dependency. dependency only. Remember, sir, module B requires, sir, here without static keyword, but now I'm using static keyword. With a static keyword, right? Observe that at the compile time, at the time of compilation, module A should be available, but at runtime it is optional. That is, at runtime, even module A is not available, JVM will execute the code. Are you able to understand, right? Static means what? Dependency check is mandatory at compile time, but at runtime it is optional. So I'm going to convey to the client. That, array client, if you want, you can use this module. If you are not satisfied with that, sir, you can ignore. If you have already another alternative module, happily you can use. But at compile time, it is a mandatory but optional at a runtime. Such type of dependency is nothing but one optional dependency. Clear, right? Sir, how you can implement optional dependency by using which keywords are? Static keyword. Sir, in the last videos we covered about transitive dependency. This one is another alternative dependency, sir. What is this alternative dependency? Is what? Static dependency. Clear up to this? Now I hope you people got clarity. What is optional dependency? Sir, the dependency check is mandatory at compile time but optional at runtime. At runtime on the client machine, even the dependent module is not available, no problem at all. Happily client code is going to run. Are you getting right? So this module not mandatory at runtime on the client machine. Are you getting? If you are interested, you can use. Otherwise, you can ignore. Or instead of this module, if you have another more optimized module, happily you can use, right? Okay. I'm not keeping much restrictions to the client. Such type of cases we should go for what? Optional dependencies. Clear, right? Sir, let me go for a small demo program so that you people can able to understand very easily, right? Have a look once. Here, see this one. Sir, I have module A and a module B. Sir, every module should compulsory contain module info.java, no doubt at all. Sir, now module A contain pack1 a.java. Module B contain pack2 test.java. Sir, test.java, same as our previous examples only. I have to run this one, right? Okay. Sir, now I want to keep, sir, this module as optional module to module B, or module B having optional dependency with module A. That's why here have you observed, right? I use a dotted line. Dotted line is nothing but not mandatory. It is optional only. Sir, observe that very carefully. Sir, now module A component, package pack1, public class A, public void M1 module A method. Just it is a pack1, it contain pack1, contain A class, and then M1 method, module A method. Sir, module info.java exports pack1. So module A exports this pack1 to outside person. So module B can able to access, right? This is the module A. Okay. Now components of module B, sir. Sir, what are various things? In module B test.java, here I'm not using module A because if you are interested, you can use, otherwise you can ignore. I'm not using, sir. Have you observed, right? Sir, system.out.println, optional dependencies demo. I'm not using any functionality, just a main method, optional dependencies, right? But inside module info.java, have you observed my line? Sir, requires static module A. Are you getting? Requires a static module A. Okay, make sure, sir, yet compile time, if you want to compile module B, compulsory module A should be available. Remember that, sir, compiler is always going to check module A is available or not. If module A is not available at compile time, then code is not going to compile. Remember that, sir. So at compile time, module A compulsory you have to provide for the module B, then only the code is going to compile. But at runtime, even module A is not available. Compiled classes of module A is not available. No problem. Happily my module B is going to run. So module checking, dependency checking is mandatory at compile time, but optional at runtime. Such type of dependency is by default considered as what? Optional dependency, right? Sir, this is about my code. Sir, let me compile. You know how to compile? Java C hyphen module source path src hyphen d out hyphen m module a comma module b. Sir, let me compile. Happily the code is going to compile. Both modules compiled classes are going to be placed inside out folder, right? Okay, that's all. Sir, now inside out folder module a compiled classes are available, module b compiled classes are available, right? Sir, now let me run. Happily it's going to run. Sir, even you remove module a compiled classes from the out folder, no problem, still this one is going to run, sir, because the reason is module b having optional dependency with module a. Are you getting right? Sir, here which keyword I'm using? Please spell out which keyword I'm using, sir. Static keyword. Are you getting which keyword I'm using? Static keyword. Because of this static keyword, okay, what will happen here is, sir, at runtime even this module a is not available, no problem at all, because the reason for that is it is what? Optional module. Sir, let me execute this code. Have a look once, right? Here observe src, observe that src contain module a and module b. Module b, two modules are available inside src, right? Module a contain module info.java, just a module info.java contain exports pack1, that's all. Sir, now pack1 contain a.java, a public class a, sir, m1 method, that's all. Okay, sir, now I'm taking module b, sir. Module b, observe that module b contain pack2 contain test.java, optional dependencies demo, like this I'm taking, sir, nothing beyond that. Sir, now module info.java, can you please observe, am I using static keyword or not? Yes. What is the meaning of static keyword, sir? This module a is not mandatory to module b. At runtime even module a is not available, happily it's going to compile, happily it's going to run, but at compile time compulsory module a should be available, right? Sir, now let me compile the code. Observe that. Let me compile the code. Yes, let me compile. Have you observed the command, right? Java C hyphen module source path src hyphen d out hyphen m module a comma module b. Have you observed? Happily the code compiles fine. Now generated class files will be placed inside out folder, right? If I open out module a and module b is available, sir, let me move to the out folder. Just let me cross check, sir. Have you observed? Inside out folder, currently I am in out folder, right? Sir, module a, module info.class, pack1 a.class. Module b, module info.class, pack2 test.class. Okay, both are available, no problem at all. Let me run the code, sir. Let me run the code. Observe that. Let me run the code, sir. Sir, have you observed? Java hyphen module path out hyphen m module. Happily it is going to run, no problem at all. Happily it's going to run. Optional dependencies demo, it's going to run, sir. Sir, at runtime in the out folder, let me remove module a. Yes, I removed module A. Let me remove module A. Sir, only module B is available inside out folder. If you want, just observe that. Let me go to out folder. Next and after that, let me show the structure. We have inside out, we have only module B. Are you getting inside out? We have only module B. Module A is not available, but still, is it going to run or not? Now, observe that. Observe a bit carefully, sir. Yes. Even though module A is not available at runtime, still my module B is going to run, because the reason is module B having optional dependency on module A. Everyone can able to understand, right? Module B having optional dependency on module A. Sir, this is, I hope you should be in a position to understand, right? Okay, make sure, sir. So because I'm using what? Static. Yet a runtime, while executing module B, if a module A is not available, no problem at all. Happily module B is going to run, because module B having optional dependency on module A. Okay, that's all. Sir, now you may ask, sir, I want to remove static. I don't want to use static, sir. If I remove static at runtime, if you remove module A compiled classes, immediately JVM is going to give left and right. Hey, to run module B, compulsory module A must be required. Where is the module A? Like JVM is going to tell. But if you use a static, then JVM is the silent. Remember that, sir. If you are not using static, then immediately JVM is going to object to run module B, compulsory module A must be required. Just let me, without static, what is the impact? Let me show, sir. Observe that carefully. Here, let me remove this out folder. Yes, src, module B, inside module B, let me remove this static. Are you getting? I removed the static, sir. I removed the static. Can you please tell, is it optional dependency or mandatory dependency? Yes, man, you have to respond. Is it optional dependency or mandatory dependency? Sir, it is a mandatory dependency because I'm not using static. That's why mandatory dependency, right? Sir, now let me compile. Yes, let me compile. Yes, here, observe that. Let me compile. Yes, compiled, fine. Compile. Now, sir, out folder got created. Inside out, both modules are available. Let me remove module A. I want to remove module A. Sir, only module B is available. Only module B is available. But sir, to run module B, compulsory module A is available. But module A, compiled classes already you removed. Now if you are asking, JVM, can you please run module B test class? Immediately JVM is going to tell, sorry, I can't run because module A is not available. Observe that carefully, sir. I want to run, I have to run this code, sir. I have to run this code. Observe that. I removed in the out folder, only module B is available. Only module B is available. Module A is not available inside out folder, sir. That's why here make sure. Let me run this code. Let me run this code. Clearly, my JVM is going to tell error occurring during initialization of boot layer. Module A not found. Required by module B. Are you getting that? Module A is not available, which is required by module B. How I can able to run? Are you in a position to understand, right? So this is about optional dependencies. Sir, dependency check is mandatory at compile time, but optional at runtime. Such type of dependency is by default considered as one. Sir, optional dependency. We can implement optional dependency by using which keywords are? Static keyword, right? Clear for all of you, right? In the last video we cover transitive dependencies. Now we are talking about what? Optional dependencies. Make sure you people should have clarity, right? Okay, that's all. Sir, now it is very clear for you people what is optional dependency, and even I executed a program also, so that just if you practice this, then automatically will get much clarity. Remember that optional dependency means this dependency checking is mandatory yet you have to respond mandatory yet compile time, but optional yet runtime. Are you getting that? So at runtime, even this module is not available, no problem at all. Are you getting? Happily, sir, my JVM is going to run. Sir, mandatory, the dependency check is not mandatory at runtime. It is mandatory only at compile time. Sir, where we can use this concept? Are you getting that? Where we can use this concept? What are various use cases are there? Very simple, sir. Very simple. I'm providing earphones, default earphones for your mobile. If you want, you can use. If you are not interested, you can ignore. Or if you have full-fledged at runtime, full-fledged another version of earphones, happily you can use. So we are providing much flexibility to the client. Are you getting that? Client, if you want, you can use this module. If you want, you can use this module. If you are not satisfied with that, you can use your own customized available module. No problem at all. If you are not interested, you can ignore this module. More flexibility to the client. We are not keeping much restrictions about dependencies. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, that's all. Suppose I am telling, HTTP client is available, you can use. If it is not available, use my HTTP URL connection. Are you getting? If Oracle module is available, use. If Oracle module is not available, okay, you can use your own MySQL module or my provided MySQL module, no problem at all, sir. Okay, sir, like dependencies, I don't want to keep much restrictions to the client, then happily we can go for, can I spell out, sir? Happily we can go for what? Optional dependencies. Clear for all of it? So the first biggest thing is more relaxation to the client, so no restrictions to the client. Next, client can use more enhanced module functionality, sir, instead of using default module. Next, and after that, at runtime based on available module, happily is allowed to run the cinema. Okay, are you getting right? More flexibility to the client about these optional dependencies, right, sir? Optional dependencies is not a new word in the programming. Almost in all languages, this type of word is the very common, sir. Optional dependency is very common, but in Java, in JPMS concept, we are discussing about this concept, right? Clear for all of you, right? Sir, how to implement optional dependency? By using which keyword? Hey, you should respond. By using which keyword we are implementing optional dependency? By using static keyword. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, just have a look once, right, about the theory. Sir, now observe that use cases of optional dependencies. Are getting? Usage of optional dependencies very common in programming world. Sometimes we can develop the library with optional dependencies. Sir, if Apache HTTP client is available, use it. Otherwise, use HTTP URL connection. If Oracle module is available, use it. Otherwise, use MySQL module. Are getting right? Next, why you should use this? For various reasons, right? Observe that when distributing a library, and we may not want to force big dependency to the client. Boss, I will give library to you, but I'm not going to keep much restrictions. Are you getting right? Next, on the other hand, a more advanced library may have performance benefit. So whatever module client needs, he can use. Are you getting right? Sir, whatever module client needs, happily he can use. He is having option with him, either default or otherwise customized, which is having more performance, right? Okay, like next, third one, sir, we may want to allow easily pluggable implementations of some functionality. Sir, there is some functionality is there, pluggable functionality, right? We may provide implementations using all of these, or pick one whose dependency is found. Sir, I will provide multiple, sir, at runtime based on his requirement, he can able to choose. Are you in a position to understand, right? These are various reasons why we should go for optional dependency. Clear, right? Sir, this is what you people should aware about optional dependency, where you can use, how to implement, right? Sir, now there may be a chance to ask in the interview room, or there may be a chance to ask in the certification exams also, right? Observe that if you consider, okay, module B, assume that module B, sir, I'm taking requires module A. Are getting? Requires module A. Sir, I'm taking requires transitive module A. Requires a transitive module A. Next, requires static module A. Are you getting? Requires a static module A. Sir, what is the difference between these three things? If you can aware, then automatically you can able to understand very, very easily, right? Observe that. I hope by this time you should be in a position to answer what is the difference between these. Sir, let me go for requires module A. Sir, first point, is it mandatory module or not? Yes, man, not optional, mandatory. Yet compile time, sir, module B and module A both should be available. Okay, next, at runtime, module B and module A both should be available. Dependency check is mandatory. At compile time, at runtime, it is the mandatory dependency. First thing. Second one, sir, module B, sir, required module A only for itself. If any other person requires module B, for that person module A by default not available. Are you getting right? transitive without transitive, sir, this one is nothing but what? Without a transitive, right? Okay, module B required module A. If any other person requires module B, for that person module A is not available because I'm not using transitive keyword. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, it is the mandatory dependency. Next, this module is available only for module B, not to the next level because I'm not using transient keyword. Clear for all of you, right? That's all. Sir, now second one, sir. Observe a bit very carefully, right? Sir, it is the mandatory dependency because I'm not using static. Mandatory dependency. At compile time and at runtime, module B and module A both should be available. Mandatory dependency. Next, am I using transitive or not? Yes. Sir, module B requires module A. Sir, module B requires module A not only for module B. Sir, if any other person requires module B, automatically for that person module A is available. Implied readability. Are you getting? So, if any other person requires module B, for that person also module A automatically available. We are not required to provide explicitly. Automatically available. That is the property of what? Transitive keyword. Clear for all of you, right? Next, what about requires static module A? Sir, what is the meaning, sir? Sir, this dependency check is mandatory at compile time, but at runtime even module A is not available. No problem at all. It is going to run. Remember that. Next, this module A available only for module B. If any other person requires module B, for that person module A is not available. Clear for all of you, right? So it is optional dependency. It is the transitive dependency. It is the normal mandatory dependency. Clear, right? Maybe a chance to ask, sir, requires with the static, without static, what is the difference? Requires with the transitive, without a transitive, what is the difference? You people should be in a position to understand, right? Are you able to understand, right? Sir, what is requires a directive? What is a transitive dependency? What is optional dependency? If you refer 2 times or 3 times, then automatically you people can get much clarity, right? Okay, that's all, sir. Thank you.